So, I want to teach you a little bit about the Rainbow Covenant. Okay? In Genesis chapter 7, verses 2 and 3, it explains unclean and clean animals entering into the ark. The clean animals entered in 7, and the unclean animals entered 2. 7 and 2. Okay? So right from there in Genesis, it's explaining that there's clean and unclean animals. Then you move on to Leviticus in chapter 11. It tells you what you can and cannot eat, the clean and unclean animals. It specifies these, right? Well, a lot of you Christian women like to hit us with, in regards to eating clean, Acts, where Peter has the vision. Okay? So, let me see here, because I want to find the exact verse that I'm looking for. Because Peter literally tells you exactly what God was giving him in his vision. So give me 1 second here. So you're going to go all the way down to verse 28 in chapter 10, and it reads as follows. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company, or to come unto one another of another nation. But God hath shewed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. So there's many times in the Bible where people are, it's idiomatic for animals to be people. Like the ox, for example. The ox is an idiom for the workers, right? The people that are going and finding the lost sheep. Doing what I'm doing right now. And, so on and so forth. Also, even in the book of Enoch, which I know a lot of you Christian women are starting to read, people are referred to as animals. Just like where it says up a little higher in chapter 10 of Acts, verse 11, and saw heaven opened, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at 4 corners, and let down to the earth, wherein were all manner of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. So these things were things that were specifically unclean, that he saw in this sheet. Okay? And that's why when a voice came to him and said, Rise, Peter, kill and eat, Peter said, Not so, Jehovah. I have never eaten a thing that is common or unclean. Because he didn't eat unclean. Okay? So, and when you go over to Ephesians chapter 2, verse 12, it tells you to keep the covenants of promise. Well, the covenants of promise are eating clean, or it's also called the Rainbow Covenant, and the 10 Commandments. Okay? All over this Bible, it tells you, if ye love me, you will keep my commandments. And I'll simply just take you to the end of the book. I'll take you right over to Revelation, okay? Chapter 22. This literally has been my favorite verse since I found covenant. Hold on, my pages are stuck. There we go. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without, so these are talking, this next verse, verse 15, is literally talking about the people who do not keep the commandments. For without are dogs and scorners and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whoever loveth and maketh a lie. I, Yeshua, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and the morning star. And the Spirit and the bride say, Come. And let him that heareth say, Come. And let him that is athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take a water of life freely. It's literally saying, if you don't keep God's commandments, you are not going to have right to the tree of life. You will not be in the millennial reign. You will not be in heaven. You won't. If the end of the book clearly states this, and then all over the New Testament and Old Testament it tells you to keep God's commandments, why wouldn't you do that?